Hello grade 7s, I trust that you're all well. Today we're going to be looking at direct and indirect speech. We've learnt about punctuating direct speech last term, so now we're going to take this a step further and we're going to convert our direct speech into indirect speech or reported speech as it is sometimes referred to. So what is direct speech? Direct speech uses the exact words of the speaker. It's the actual words being spoken. It's indicated by inverted commas. There they are around the word inverted commas. Every time a different person speaks, we're going to start a new paragraph. In cartoons or comics, the actual words spoken are enclosed in a bubble. So let's look at this little cartoon from Angus Cameron. We've looked at one of his already. The two characters are Lucky and Abigail. So Lucky says, "We need an adventure." "What? Sitting with me isn't enough?" "I said adventure, not ordeal." "Cranky isn't going to cure your boredom." "I hate being miserable alone." So now, in your language study book, leave open a page, write the heading Direct Speech, rule off, and then write out the cartoon. Write out this cartoon as a conversation, including the names of the speaker after the words they have spoken. So you will need to use Lucky and Abigail. You may use words such as replied, questioned, asked, explained, commented, complained, etc., instead of just plain ordinary asked to describe the way the words were spoken. First, read the rules. So what are the rules? Quotation mark only the spoken words and the necessary punctuation, such as a full stop, question mark, or comma. The first word spoken begins with a capital letter. The unspoken part, which includes the introductory verb, which is always followed by a comma, may also be placed inside the spoken part. So in other words, if I said, "What," in inverted commas, which is a question, asked Abigail, that's the unspoken part, I can then open up my inverted commas again and complete what was being said. "Sitting with me isn't enough," close quotation marks. Now you've included that introductory verb inside your quotation. Begin a new paragraph each time a different person speaks. Changing direct speech into indirect speech. Firstly, we're going to have to look at the rules yet again. Indirect speech. Many changes occur when we convert a sentence from the direct to the indirect or reported speech. So what are the rules? We have to remove the inverted commas. We need to remove everything that was inside it. That's the question mark, the exclamation mark, the capital letter, except where the first word within the inverted commas is a proper noun. Proper nouns remain proper nouns, and so we have to keep that capital letter. Then we have to change the pronouns so that the sentence retains its meaning. So let's look at these. I, me becomes he, him, or her. You in the singular, you as one person in other words, can become he, him, or her. We or us is going to change to they or them. And if I use you in the plural, it's going to become they or them. We insert the word that to link the introductory verb to the spoken words. We use that when it is a statement. Insert the words if or whether instead of that after questions using question verbs. But if the first word of a question is a question word, like what or why, we use this word as the connecting word. Now, keep the tense of the introductory verb. This is key. I'm going to repeat that one again. Keep the tense of the introductory verb. Exclamatory words are never used. We describe them when we're writing in the indirect speech. Adverbs of time and place change into the past tense. So let's look at these. Adverbs referring to time or place. So now becomes then, today becomes that day, tomorrow becomes the next day, the day after, the following day. So you can see that there are quite a few options for some of these. You're going to have to use your common sense. Yesterday becomes the previous day, or you could use the day before. The day before yesterday becomes 2 days before. So if we spoke about the previous week, we would have to think about that carefully as well. Next week becomes the following week. Ago becomes before, here becomes there, and this place becomes that place. What are the steps that we need to follow? Keep the tense of the introductory verb. Remember, that one was key. Circle what needs to be changed. That is pronouns, auxiliary verbs, adverbs. And then ask yourself the question, is this a sentence a statement or is it a question? So let's try. Lucky commented, we need an adventure. So let's look. Commented is underlined. Commented is my introductory verb. Take note, it's in the past tense. Now, can you see that I've also underlined another word inside my inverted commas? That too is a verb. Right, then we also need to circle the we, because the we is a pronoun. Let's have a look now and see what happens when we change that direct speech into the indirect speech. So now we have Lucky commented that they needed an adventure. So my introductory verb remains the same. It remains in the past tense. That's going to determine what's going to happen with the rest of my sentence. Let's just quickly look that the we now changes to they. But can you see that because my introductory verb was in the past tense, my need now needs to change to the past tense as well. So because the introductory verb is in the past tense, we have to report the spoken words in the past tense as well. Okay, so sitting with me isn't enough, questions Abigail. Now have a look. It's a question, okay? And that's why I've put that little question mark in a different color so that it stands out, because remember, if it is a statement, I'm going to use that. If it is a question, I'm going to use if or whether. All right? So, sitting with me isn't enough. The introductory verb, even though it's after the quoted part of the sentence, okay, the direct speech, it's still the introductory verb. It introduces what is being said, and it's in the present tense. There's my pronoun, me. So that's also going to change. So I circle it. Now, let's have a look at how it changes. So, Abigail questions if sitting with her isn't enough. So let's have a look at that. The introductory verb is in the present tense this time and follows the subject. So I'm going to keep that introductory verb exactly the same. And then my pronoun changed from me to her, and my connecting word this time is the word that I use for a question. Now, grade 7s, you go and you do the following exercise in your language book. You can head up your exercise as indirect speech now. I've given you 5 sentences to cut your teeth on. Rule off and then do the second part. Another 5 sentences that possibly might be a little bit more challenging. Go back if you are stuck. Use the video over and over again, the PowerPoint presentation. Practice and get this under your belt, and remember the introductory verb is critical. Good luck!